to talk about one of my favorite postures, Shirshasana, or headstand. Sorry, I'm a little sweaty because I was just doing my own practice, and I was doing a lot of inversions, headstands and handstands and different variations, and I thought I would share them with you because they are one of my favorite things to do in a physical yoga practice. But you have to be careful, because if you're not, you can really hurt yourself, even with the basic steps of doing a headstand or a handstand. So I'm going to teach you the way I've been taught how to do a functional and safe and proper headstand. So to get there, you need to have some baby steps. When I was in Saudi Arabia teaching one of my friends, of course, when you first start learning yoga or getting into the physical practice, you see all these really cool postures, these hard-looking physical positions. One of them was scorpion that my friend wanted to practice. And I said, okay, we can do that, but first you need headstand. And before you can do headstand, you need to lead up to that in things like dolphin and other things that will prepare you. And so I'm going to show you those today. But before that, I'd just like to say headstand's an amazing posture, has all kinds of benefits. Because you are inverted, you are upside down, there is a fresh flow of blood and oxygen that comes into your brain, and so it also decreases your heart rate and increases your mental capacities like memory and concentration. So it's a very beneficial posture. If you ever get bored and just want to jump up in the headstand, go ahead, but do it safe. So I'll show you the proper ways, or at least the ways that I've been taught to do it. There's another method called the tripod headstand, where you put your head and then you put your hands kind of behind your face. I'll show you that. That's kind of what beginners use to do headstand. It can really screw up your neck if you're not careful. Not saying that you shouldn't do it. It's used in many classes. It is in the Ashtanga secondary series, but I guess that kind of says something when it's in the secondary series, not the primary series. So with that, let me show you the baby steps leading up to the headstand. So first, you're going to come onto your yoga mats, kind of in a child's pose. Bring your arms on your mat and have them elbow distance apart. So now you know where your elbows should be. Then bring your hands together and interlace your fingers. So now you know where your hands should be. A lot of people will put their head directly into your hands like this because they think maybe it's going to hurt to put your head on the ground, but it doesn't. Just relax. You're going to want to place the crown of your head in between your hands. So that way you can actually use your elbows, your hands, and your head to support yourself. But before then, you are going to step back. Like I said, baby steps. So into a sort of plank position on your forearms, making sure your shoulders are over your elbows, your back is flat. Don't have your butt too high in the air. Make sure there is a straight line from head to heels, and just breathe here. Breathing naturally, breathing into your stomach. And if this is easy for you, then you can move on. If this is difficult, I would suggest staying here until you can build up your shoulder strength until it does become easier. Once it becomes easier, then you can walk your feet in. So your butt does go in the air. But again, make sure your shoulders are over your elbows. You do not want your shoulders going really, really far forward or really, really back. can cause a lot of damage to your rotator cuff, your shoulders. It's not very healthy, not very good. So make sure your shoulders are over your elbows. And then if this is easy, you can also walk your feet a little higher, a little further up. And so from here, then I would say come back onto your hands and knees. Place, again, the crown of your head in between the space between your hands, not in your hands. And then you can practice bringing one leg in, and then change, and then change. And maybe you can bring one leg, and slowly one leg, and extend up. Until you're in a full headstand. Coming down slowly with care. So again, I'll do that more of the center of the mat so maybe you can see better. So start elbows, hands, your head goes in the space between your hands. So I put my head down, and then one leg in, the other leg in. Be careful, don't jump. You can, but again, you want to be safe and building your core strength until you can properly just bring both knees in and then extend both legs up. Then slowly, with control and with care, bringing both feet to the ground. If you want, you can use the wall. Some people are afraid of falling over, so you can have your back towards the wall. It does give a sense of security if you're afraid of falling, so that's good. But again, coming down safely, coming down slowly. If you do fall, if you don't want to use the wall, you just fall. No big deal. You're only maybe a meter from the ground, so you're going to bend your legs and land onto your feet. So you come up, and if you fall, then legs, land on your feet. No big deal. Pretty easy. And then you can try again. I love this position. I love being inverted. I was a gymnast for a very long time. Any kind of inversion, headstand, handstand, scorpion, forearm stand, it's like those are my bag of tricks. Really, really fun for me. And eventually, when you do headstand and you get your shoulders strong and your core strong, then you can move on to things like forearm stand or handstand. And I've always been told that there's not much difference between headstand and forearm stand, because you want to have a lot of support in your forearms so that you can actually move your neck around. So I'll show you. Like here, I can actually talk, no problem, I can move my head around, but don't do this at the beginning. You might strain your neck. If you're just getting started, I would say don't talk, don't move your head, just focus on getting inverted. Once you do have a good headstand practice, then you can open up your hands, maybe play around with forearm stand, other things, scorpion, moving your hands. This is the position I was talking about with tripod headstand. It is a more easier headstand. You do have more support, but it also puts a lot of pressure onto your head and your neck, and it increases the risk of injury. Whenever you do finish your headstand or your handstand or any inversion, be sure to take a few seconds and rest. Coming up carefully, being very aware of your spine and your neck.